Yes. What are semi-block and block type of letters? When you're talking about a layout of a business letter, what are semi-block and block types of letters? Very easy. No idea? No, ma'am. Just now you all said that you all have learned letter writing in college. And now you're telling me you don't know what is block and semi-block. Do you all know what the parts of a letter are? Business letter. What are the parts of a letter? Parts of a letter basically where you write your date, then you write your reference number, then you write your inside address, then you write your any kind of special markings, then subject line, then you go through all the paragraphs, then you write down your salutation, right? And then of course you write the complimentary close and signature. Do you all know this, students, or you all don't know? 12th standard. I'm sure you had good education or something like that. Everybody has forgotten. Everybody's forgotten how to write only. So forget it, no? Everybody knows what a complimentary clause is. Come on, tell me what is a complimentary clause. Okay, let's start with date. Where do you write your date, students? Come on, tell me. On a paper, A4 size paper, where do you write your date? Left hand side. Okay. Now, just identify yourself. Ishita here. Ishita. Now, Ishita says that she wants to write on the left hand side. No problem. Now, when everything comes on the left hand side, see, there are only two main types when you're writing an email. Okay, students, I'm not going to say letter, I'm going to say email now because it's redundant. Okay, we don't use letter writing as such. So, whenever you are sending any email, you have two types. One is the block type, and the second is the semi block. Now, Ishita said that the date comes on the left hand side. So, when everything comes on the left hand side, okay, everything, right from your date, your reference number, your address, your special marking, salutation, subject line, complimentary clause, signature. So, everything comes on the left hand side, okay, that is called as a block letter. Okay, of course, you have to leave two finger spaces in between and give proper spacing, right? So that is the American style which we have adopted, and generally it is universal. If you ask me today, okay. So block type is everything comes on your left hand side. Now, if somebody says that, ma'am, but we were taught right hand side, okay. So whenever a date and the complimentary clause or the signature comes on the right hand side, okay, that is called as a semi block. Are you all getting me? Like in easy, simple words, formal letters, what you all have done in college. 12th standard, I'm sure you all did formal and informal letters, correct? Yes, ma'am. Ah, yes. So, when you were asked to write a formal letter, what was the format? The date would come on the right hand side, okay, and exactly below that would come the signature, correct? Yes. So that yes, so that is basically a semi block. So now, after you have completed your 12th standard, those who are very confused with letter writing and email writing, you don't have to be so confused because there are only two types. One is block letter, which is the easiest. Everything comes on the left hand side, but proper spacing has to be there. And if it is semi block, then you will write the date and the signature on the right hand. Everything else comes on the left hand. So that is done. Okay, everybody's got to know what are the parts of the letter. Yes. See, don't bring you. I will be sending you formats, and I will be sending you notes also. So those who have no idea what it is, then you can go through. Okay. Now, there are also other forms like a modified block form or a semi-indented form, etc. Okay, so I will just go through what it is, okay, just for your information. But practically, I would prefer that you know that we use only two types. Now, what I told you was a full block form, which is the most modern style. Okay, so there is no indentation from the left margin at all. So every line, okay, including the date and the complementary clause, everything begins from the left hand side of the margin. The address has no punctuation at the end of the line. The salutation, the complimentary clause, they do not have any kind of punctuations like comma, etc. Okay, there is a double line space between words and between paragraphs. And this form, why it is used? Basically because it takes less time and requires no indentation, no punctuations, and very, very easy to basically type. This is why it is very famous. Okay. Now, some companies do not like this full block form. Why? Because basically it looks too heavy on the left hand side. Okay, and the right hand side of the screen or the page, it looks blank. So that is why they prefer the semi block or semi indented form. Okay, so now what is a modified block form? This style is a basically like a full block, but it has a little bit of modification. What they do is that the it eliminates any kind of say shortcomings or any kind of problems which are then in a full block style. Okay, what do they do is that, like what I said, modified or semi block means what? That the date and the complementary clause comes on the right hand side with the signature, right? And the other things all, like the salutation, the etc., they all come on the left hand side. So this is your modified or semi block form. Now, okay, so there are 57 students. I'll start my presentation. So today we are going to talk about letters of order and letters of quotation. Can anyone tell me why in the hotel industry or which department do we need to order or we need to quote? Tell me, which department do you think that we need to order or we need to quote?
Sales and marketing.
Okay, only sales and marketing. We don't need to order cutlery, crockery. We don't need to order chairs, furniture. We don't need to order, well, yes, linen. So many things we need to order. Don't you think so, students? If you think now you're going to start a restaurant, I'm sorry, you're going to start a hotel, a five-star hotel. So don't we need quotations from different companies, different people? For example, say in a F&B department, I want to order cutlery. Everybody understands the word cutlery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whenever you want to order cutlery, okay, so won't I need to order it? So I will ask for a quotation from about at least about 10 people, isn't it? Isn't it? So that is the reason why when we intend to buy any kind of product or any kind of service, okay, we are asking for quotations from several suppliers. And then we select the one most suitable to us. Okay, so letter of quotation is very, very necessary because whenever we are trying to order something, we need to buy that product, right? So that is when we have to write a letter of quotation. So if your order is likely to be large or might lead to other orders, always indicate it in your request. Now, suppliers offer better terms to large buyers. Mention all the details of your requirements when asking for quotations. If it is for painting, for example, okay, or renovation or any kind of air conditioning or any kind of other installation, ask for a representative to visit you to discuss the details. Now, in the hotel industry, in the five-star hotel, what they do is whenever we are starting a five-star hotel, first of all, we send. We send these letter of quotations to say, for example, say five people. I'm sending the letter of quotation, asking them a quote for the cutlery which I want to buy. Okay, so say Mr. X gives me a quote of say 2 lakhs. Say another person gives me a quote of 3 lakhs, and so on and so forth. So from that, the best one, whoever will suit my pocket, okay, I will ask him to come, okay, and then we generally have a negotiation. We have a discussion of giving a discount and things like that. Now, why is it like that? Because see, remember, every hotel we will need cutlery every at least once a year. We keep on checking our stock, right? So when we keep our stock, and then what we prefer to do as hoteliers is we prefer to give it to the same person. Okay, we prefer to give it to the same person whom the quotation we have taken from day one, unless there's a real problem. Like for example, even in your college, okay, in our college here, the suppliers who supply to the kitchen, the vegetable vendor, the dry grocery vendor, okay, the wet grocery vendor, all these people, they are the same for so many years, students. Okay, unless maybe there was a problem some time back, then maybe they have changed it. But for years, since my times, I remember when the college was at Shivaji Nagar also. Um, uh, that time, the person who used to supply the grocery, he is the same person who's supplying. Maybe that's now his son has taken over, but the same person is supplying to you too. Okay, so that is exactly how we build relations, right, with such people. So it is extremely important that when you are writing a letter of quotation, okay, you mention all the details of your requirements. Okay, remember, whenever we talk about letter writing, most of us are very scared that, oh, I don't know what kind of language to use, this, that. Remember, the most simple language in English you are going to write, because remember, you are writing a letter to a person who might not understand or know that much high English. Okay, so that is the reason why you have to have the most simple language. Then after this, points to include for the quotation letter. First of all, polite request for quotation is to be given. Then any kind of details of requirements with quality and quantity of goods. So for example, if I want to buy, say my restaurant has about 300 covers, okay, and I would like to buy cutlery and crockery worth for the 300 covers. Naturally, I'm going to buy a little more, right? So if say I buy about 450, I take it as for about 150 extra cutlery. So I will write the quantity, I will write the quality. He will, of course, send me the pictures, what quality and designs he has, and then we write down exactly what the details are. Then, of course, we write the place and time of delivery of goods required. That is the carriage paid, carriage forward. Okay, so whatever time and place we need our cutlery, that is when we are going to write it in the letter of quotation. Any special request about the mode of delivery or packing. So, for example, say I don't have somebody who will go and get the cutlery. So, I will put a special request in the letter saying that please could you deliver it from, and maybe you could charge us for the whatever the travel or the charges are for the mode of delivery. Okay, so then packing, for example, in the banquets, okay, in the banquets, if we have a party or something and we are sending a letter of quotation, then say if we want individual packets of cutlery, so then that is how we'll have to write it in the letter of quotation. Any suggestion that the volume of business will be large if the quotation is favorable. So a suggestion that the if in case, for example, that we would say I'm a hotelier and I want the quotation, I want to write a quotation which will include not only one restaurant but the coffee shop, the specialty restaurants, maybe a fine dine. So for everything. So basically what we do is when we are going to write a letter of quotation to the supplier, okay, we generally at the end of the letter, okay, we always try to tell him that, see, this is not the first time we will be giving you business, but we would like to have a good relation with you forever. So that is basically the suggestion, that the volume of business will be more. And that is why give us a quotation which could be negotiable. So that all these points we always included in the quotation letter whenever you are writing a quotation letter. Okay. Then when you're giving a quotation, when the market conditions are normal, the usual quotation is given. If the customer seems likely to place a large order, an exceptional quotation may be given. Now here, when we are giving a quotation, okay, when do you think we give quotation, students, as hoteliers? In which department do you think that we give quotations to um, people, customers? Yes.
Ma'am, while booking a banquet hall,
Very good. Yes. Booking a banquet hall. Where else?
for the rooms,
Yes, absolutely. For the rooms. Very nice. Anybody else can give me where else can we give a quotation as a hotelier?
ma'am, while for services as well.
Oh, sorry, one person at a time. Yes.
Kumavattu board. Ma'am, for the services that
I'm sorry.
the hotel is offering,
Services for a hotel is offering. Very good.
like
And
spa
anybody else also
or
spoke in between?
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very good. So gym and spa, etc. Now remember, in a hotel, okay, whenever, say, especially for resort hotels, there are a lot of these companies and there are lots of these, uh, what do you say, corporates, okay, who, uh, who want, say, about 35 to 40 rooms at a time. Why? Because they must be having a conference there for 3 or 4 days. Okay, or maybe there is a corporate where there's a corporate quotation which we have to give to people who have a, say, 5 days conference in our hotel. Okay, and only 2 VIPs are going to live there. So such times what we have to do is, as a banquet manager, okay, we have to give out quotations, because naturally as customers they will ask you for a discount, right? Because they are going to stay in your hotel for whatever, maybe the weekend, or if it's a resort, or if they're going to have a 5 or 6 days conference, then right from 9 to 9 or 9 to 6, they are going to have so many people with you. So there are so many banquet functions. There are so many rooms. Okay, in front office, there are so many meals also in the food and beverage service department, especially giving complimentary. Some things they ask for complimentary. Maybe a breakfast is free, okay, with the stay. So these things, so there are a lot, like some of you said, spa, gym, okay, swimming, all these things we have to give quotations as employees, okay, or as staff. And that is when we will have to again send a letter of quotation. So if the customer seems likely to place a large order, then an exceptional quotation should be given. Mostly quotations are always given in a tabulated form. Okay, now tabulated form I will show you. I will send you the pictures of some of the samples of the formats, so you'll know. Now point out the advantages of the quotation and benefit of buying the goods. For example, giving thanks for inquiries, statement of prices and terms, attempt to win the customer. So, see, many a times this happens, even I can give you my own example that, there was a 10-day conference and I was working as a banquet manager, and those 10 days they wanted rooms. They wanted about 22 rooms, okay, and they also wanted that the dinner should be on the house. Breakfast anyway we were giving them on the house, but they wanted dinner also on the house. Okay, now this is a bit difficult, right? Because we are not going to make any profit if we are going to give dinner on the house. Okay, so as a banquet manager, I had to come to terms where we offered them other facilities, like we offered them 50% discount in the gym. Then we offered for there were some ladies also, so we told them that they can come to our spa and other maybe parlor facilities. So this is how we have to think from the point of view of the profit of the hotel. Okay, although, and at the same time we have to win our customer over, right? So that is when we use this kind of you can say we come to a platform where the guest is also happy as well as we are making our profit. So it's a very tricky situation, but always we have to attempt to win our customers, okay, because we definitely want to make more profits. So that is done with giving off quotation. Okay, anybody wants to ask any questions, you can ask now before I go ahead. No questions? Okay. Now, firm offer. A firm offer is a quotation which is very firm or acceptance by the receiver within a stated limit. It is a promise to sell the stated quantity of goods at the quoted price, provided that the order is received within the given time, usually 3 to 7 days. A firm order is made when the price of the product is expected to rise or when the price is fluctuating and quoting a definite price is difficult. Also made when the supplies are short of demand. Okay, the letter now states the reason for making the offer firm and the date up to which it is firm. A firm offer is a moral obligation but not a legal obligation. It builds goodwill with important customers. So now what is a firm offer? So when you're writing a letter of quotation, okay, you are, or email, you are exchanging a lot of emails. For example, I have given a quotation, then the customer says to me that, but we want dinner free, for example. Then I have to give back an offer. Now this goes for 3-4 times, and then we have to settle down, right? We have to settle somewhere, but at the same time we don't want to lose our customer. So that is when we write down a letter of quotation where it's like a firm offer, where we very politely tell the guest that we can give you only so much and not more than that. Okay, so it is you have to be very tactful while writing such letters, and generally you get it with experience, of course. So a firm oral basically offer is basically a moral obligation. Okay, it's not a legal obligation, but why a moral obligation? Because you don't want your customer to go to somebody else. Because remember, hotel industry, especially today, is so competitive that if you leave one customer, he has about 10 more other hotels calling him. Okay, so that is why it is extremely important that you should never let your customer go. Okay, try to be you should tell him very firmly that this is what I can offer, because I won't be making profits in a very nice way. Okay, so that is the firm offer. Now, withholding quotation. If a particular customer repeatedly asks for quotations for the purpose of comparing with other quotations and does not place any orders, then you may avoid giving quotations. Can anybody tell me what example could you give me here from an hotel perspective? Yes. If a particular customer repeatedly asks for quotations for the purpose of comparing with other quotations and does not place any orders, you may avoid giving quotations. And how will you as a hotelier know that the person is comparing it with other quotations? Yes, students, come on, tell me.
Ma'am, the way he speaks.
Example?
The way he approaches us, like the way he speaks or the way he asks his quotation.
Yeah, like, say he has come to JW Marriott, then he said, oh, but Taj is giving me a better rate. Correct, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's how
maybe
you know.
Repetitive calls.
Correct. Giving only repetitive calls and asking and pressing you to give a discount. Okay. Now this happens generally in the banquet section, especially. Why? Because now say there is a wedding season, okay? Say generally November to Jan, okay? December is a peak season for weddings as well as for functions. So that is when it's the most trickiest part, how you should not let your customers go. And a lot of customers take advantage of this, okay? Now, many a times I have come across customers who do this. What they do is they go to about 10, 15 five-star hotels, or maybe in Bombay or in Pune or wherever, and then they come and then they start comparing, and then they also blatantly tell you that, oh, but they are giving me this, then why don't you give me, and that one is giving me so that's when you withhold your quotation. You know for sure that either this guy is going to come to us or he's not, okay? And that's where you have to draw a line. Okay, so this is when you are also writing a letter of quotation where you're telling him very politely and tactfully, saying that the market is uncertain. You can quote only for a definite contract or make a firm offer for a very short period. So that is how you will write a quotation. So whenever you're writing a quotation, it is extremely important to know the details. Okay, you must know the details, and also you must know where to stop writing quotations, because see, there are customers who will go on asking you to give letter of quotation, and you can't waste your time in one customer, because you have different other things also. Okay, so that is when you withhold a quotation and you give the final quotation to that person. Okay, so anybody has any questions regarding quotation? That next I'm going to start with letters of order. Yes, students, any questions? Have you all understood?
What are the basic things offered in a quotation?
Depends on what kind of quotation you want to give. So, for example, if you have to say it's a banquet function, say it's a marriage, okay? So, generally, as a five-star hotel, we always have people with us. That is, people as in we have photographers, we have florists who do all the decorations. Then, of course, the food and all is all from us. Then now the major part comes when, say, there's a 3 days event, okay, of wedding event, and many of the customers ask whether they can get their own alcohol, okay, and most of the five-star hotels, they don't allow that. Now, why they don't allow it? Because we're making maximum almost 70% of our profits from the alcohol which we will be serving. Okay, so many of the customers generally have a problem with that I will get my own beer, I will get my own drinks and soft drinks and things like that. So that's a policy. So you have to be very firm and tell them that's our policy, we will not allow you. So in a say marriage, we are offering so many things to the customer. In fact, nowadays we have pre-wedding shoots. Have you all heard of that, students? Yes. So that is yes. So those pre-wedding shoots are also we do it in the five-star hotels. The only difference would be that, of course, we charge a profit, because see, most of the five-star hotels, what we do, we hire these people from outside, right? A music system, for example, DJ if they have a Sangeet party. Okay, then so many things we offer actually. Then even the flowers which we are going to decorate it with. Okay, if they want a pandit, for example, okay, then we also can do that. We have those facilities as well. So mostly when NRIs come, okay, non-resident Indians come here for a shadi, for a wedding, they just get money. That's it, and everything is done by us, like we the hoteliers. So so imagine what we are offering. Right from the time the guest comes in till the time he goes, leaves us, the whole show is done by us. So, but of course at a price. So that's all we like. So many things we offer. Okay, can I go ahead now? Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next is letters of order. So before placing the order, get all the details of what you want to buy. Group the details under headings, okay? Any kind of product, its specifications, its quantity. Give a full and accurate description of the goods you need. Some products come in a variety of sizes and colors, etc. Identify the exact product you want by specifications like size, color, catalog number, model number, unit price, etc. Now, packing also. Okay, now first let me give you an example of this. Okay, so say you want to order in food production. Okay, in food production in the kitchen, you want to order say bakery items, or you want to order grocery. Okay, all the grocery, bakery as well as cookery items. So what you will be doing is you will have to, when you are writing a letter, remember, you have to group the details under headings. So for example, if I ask you to write a letter of order for your exam, okay, you will have to write it in such a way that, say, I give you an exam question that you are a executive chef and you have to order groceries and bakery items from XYZ store. Now, how will you do that? You will have to put the make a table, okay? Write down the specific names of whatever you want. For example, the list of vegetables, the list of sauces, the list of other items, okay? Whatever you need for your cooking, for example, bakery items. In the bakery items, you'll have to give each and every item, okay? For example, vanilla essence, then you'll have to, you might need baking powder, then you need oil, you need flour, you need so many items are there, right? So you have to make it in a tabular form, okay? Remember that, right? Write the description of the goods you need, then you write the quantity of that, how much you need. Say you need it for 1 month, so you will accordingly write for 1 month, okay? And of course, any kind of sizes, shapes, colors. For example, say I would like to order for chocolate chips. So what kind of chocolate chips I want, okay? Or if I want sprinklers, the sprinklers which you put for cakes, okay? So if I want colored, so then I'll have to specify red or yellow or whatever, or multicolor. So whenever you're writing a letter of order, always remember it has to be in a tabular form with the contents written properly and the description of the goods and the quantity. Okay, you cannot write it in a paragraph form. Always remember that. Okay, students, I'm telling you right now, because what happens most of the times, you all are not paying attention when I'm, and especially now that it is online, then you all will write paragraph style and I'll give you a zero. And then you'll ask me, ma'am, why I got a zero. So I am again stressing and I'm telling you that whenever you are writing a letter of order, letter of quotation, okay, letter of inquiry and inquiry later, which you will be doing, mostly letter of order and quotation has to be done tabular form. Okay, has everybody understood? Because basically you have to write exactly what product you want, the specification, the size, the quantity, unit price, etc. That is the reason why you have to always write it in a tabular form. Now, some liquids like, some products like liquids, grains, tablets, okay, they have specific quantities, right? That is the reason. Some products are available in different types of packing like bottles, tins, sachets. The required packing should be specified in the order. Packing goods suitably for transport is the responsibility of the supplier. Buyer's instructions are needed only if the goods are to be specially packed for any special purpose. Now, remember, once your college begins and you will start your kitchen practicals, okay, students, it is always better to observe. So, whenever your attendant, okay, who's your attendant? Any idea? Did you all do your 1 week production practical, students? First years, you all had production?
Yes,
Do you have any?
I did. Yeah.
So, Neha ma'am is your attendant, I think?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, whenever Neha ma'am is roaming around, you will see she has a paper in her hand. So sometimes just go through that paper, what it is. Now, she has a proper paper where she has all the materials written, okay, the quantity written, the size, shape written. If it's a tin, in tins, it is segregated as tins. If it is liquid, it is segregated as liquid. So keep a check on that. It's called an indent paper. So you can go and check that. okay, and see how she writes it. And that is exactly the way which is expected in a letter. Okay, so buyer's instructions are needed only if the goods are to be specially packed for any special purpose. So if you need any kind of specially packed things, okay, then you will write it in a para. But otherwise, everything goes in a tabular form. Now, a delivery, give the full address at which the goods are to be delivered, give the date of the order is urgent, and you require the goods for a specific occasion and within a certain time. The mode of transport need not be mentioned unless it is a carriage forward. Okay, so whenever it is delivery, most of the times in letter of orders, the delivery is done by the supplier, so you don't have to worry about it. And of course, he will add on the charges later on to you. And full address is always better to be given to them, okay, and exactly when you need, and even timings here I have not put that, but whenever you give the date, you should also give the timings at what time you want. If it is, for example, it's a special wedding occasion or a banquet function, okay, so you need it at that particular time only. So so write down that also in the letter of uh, uh, in the letter. Okay. Then after that is settlement of accounts. So mention the agreed prices and terms and refer to the discounts or concession given, and of course mention the mode of payment of the bill. So when you have already spoken to your supplier and you know, most of the times the agreement is done during the um, negotiation only. So either you pay monthly or you pay yearly. That depends on the establishment. Okay, and any kind of discounts or concession which are given, then the supplier makes a note of it whenever he's giving his bill to the establishment. Okay, so mode of the payment of bill is mostly by check, right? Then drafting orders, how you can draft orders. Basically, when you are drafting orders, they are divided into three groups. First, a trial order, then repeat order, and then routine order. Now, the points to be included in an order are reference to previous communication. So, any kind of communication, maybe by letter, you have done it to the supplier, yeah, and request to send the goods. Then details of the required goods and other instructions like place and time of delivery, reference to terms of payment, etc., and a goodwill message. Now, what is a goodwill message? Basically, it's a message to show some kind of sense of kindness and friendliness. So to have a good relation with the supplier, that is how you will always have it in your letter. Okay. Now, what is a first or trial order? Any kind of prices and terms which are settled by a quotation and discussion and samples approved. But you will have to still make sure that the seller gives an efficient service. Packing delivery of goods in time should be prompt in receipts for payments. A trial order is placed to check the efficiency of to all this, and a retailer may also place a trial order to find out the demand for a new product. So, for example, say we have a supplier in our college, okay, and that supplier is been supplying monthly groceries to us, dry groceries to us, okay, and suddenly after about 2 months, yeah, we are demanding a new product. Maybe we had taken a new product, say a particular maybe um, a bakery product or something, yeah, the brand name which we used to take, now we have changed it. Okay, we have changed it. So then that is when you will give them a trial order. He will give us a trial order of that changed product. So what we do in the kitchen, we use that. Okay, once we feel that it is, quite good, then we send him a letter saying that we have liked this and we would like to try it again. Okay, so when the demand for this new product is there, then what happens is, then we place an order. We place him up a proper order to him. So a trial order is something where any kind of new products come in the market, and where the supplier thinks that we need to try it out, okay, and we are okay with trying it out. That is when we are exchanging those letters of orders. Okay. Then, of course, repeat order is when the buyer is satisfied with the goods bought on the trial consignment and places a repeat order. So, for example, if the brand is changed and we have liked that brand in the bakery department, then what we do is we ask the supplier to repeat the order. So then, of course, we have to have everything in writing. So that is when we are sending a letter of order for repeat order of that particular product which we have liked. So, and routine order is basically the most important thing to convey in a routine order is the details of the requirements. Prices, terms are fixed by the custom. These orders are usually placed by filling in order forms, which may be accompanied by a letter, and the letter opens with a courteous request for the goods to be sent. So, routine order is the order which, like I told you, in college, whatever routine orders we keep giving for the different groceries, for the vegetables. Now, vegetables cannot be ordered monthly. We have to order it daily, right? Every time we have any kind of kitchen practicals, we have to order it daily. So we have to repeat that order depending on the indent, depending on the menu we are making. So depending on the menu, then they make a indent of it, and then those and just imagine. You have to in the kitchen. You have to work so hard because, especially in the college kitchen, because first years are making a different menu, second years are making a different menu, okay, and the fourth years are making the different menu, okay, and the third years also when they are not gone for their internship. So 4 different menus and indent has to come every day. So you can imagine how much you have to be so detailed when you have to order something, and it cannot be more. Especially fresh vegetables cannot be more, because then you will be making a loss, right? So that is why this is the routine order which is given in college, which is every day for vegetables and maybe once a month for other dry groceries. Okay. Well, any questions regarding letters, students? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Has everybody got it? Have you understood, students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So from 58 students, only 2 have understood. I don't mind listening to 58 students saying yes. That is if they are present.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm glad everybody could hear me and they were listening, I suppose. Okay. So please give me your attendance. Rishikesh is there.
Yes, ma'am, present.
Gargi.
Present, ma'am.